Okay, we are in the middle of a snowy Wales and we need to set the concrete today. So hopefully we can clear away the ice with some shovels, because we need to put 2 feet down for the far end of the shipping container to be moved out onto, so it's above the kilns and in solid foundations. We're going to build a buffer so that the legs coming down from underneath the shipping container are protected by another barrel full of concrete and sandbags or similar, something like that, before it, when we're reversing trailers up. And the weather isn't ideal for it. I mean, the temperature is up. The temperature will not drop below -8 for the next 2-3 days, which means that we can get concrete with a little additive to set. But first we have to get to the ground, so we're going to try and dig into it, otherwise we'll have to kind of char the area, and but we need to get down to some solid foundations so that we can put our wooden frames in position, fill them with concrete, and then put some rugs and carpets over the top to make sure that it sets really well. So that's it. That's what we're going to get done today, and in 2 days time our friend will come out to style the drying room. And for the drying room we're going to need to remove some of the ground so that we can get the heat in, and that heat is going to contain some moisture, but less and less the drier the wood we put on is, but it will contain some moisture, but it will also contain a lot of heat, which is going to get more moisture out of the wood that's drying in the drying room. So there's going to be a lot coming out. Therefore we have to have a big flue, a big chimney. And the chimney that we are going to construct is going to be 30 centimeters across and 6 meters high. So we have a flue that we're going to try and style with that. We're going to use a little bit of scaffolding, weld it, because we're going to have welding equipment anyway for the drying room and for fixing it onto the legs and so on. So we're going to use that same equipment to weld scaffolding onto that, and to weld the flange of the chimney onto the top of the shipping container. And that will mean that as all the moisture comes in and through, it can also get out the top, to prevent any pressure build-up, although there's plenty of room at the bottom for pressure to come back out. If that was the case, it would just be unpleasant underneath. If it started coming back down, we'd have to step out of the charring area, which would not be ideal. So we better get going, because we want this concrete to set, and we're really looking forward to getting this drying room going, because then we can start that biochar cycle. Okay, so I have a couple of minutes just to talk about what the plan is again. You'll remember us getting all of the wood out and getting a cover on enough of it that we can get a really hot first burn, 2 or 3 burns even, underneath that drying room. And this is why we have paused our biochar production while we're setting up this drying room, because it's not easy to keep enough wood dry, and if we can't use that heat to dry more, then we can end up in a situation with no dry wood. So we have enough underneath this top here for 2 or 3 burns, and then we have a lot here which has got some moisture in it. Now a lot of this was very dry before, and that means that the moisture's come out of the plant cells even, which it takes a long time for moisture to go back into those. So the moisture that you see on these pieces of wood is in between the cells, and that's much quicker to get out. So although this has had some water on it, once we have a hot fire burning and this is in the drying room, this could get very dry very quickly. We have water containers, which we need to get up higher than the kilns so that we can pour quench water in. And then we have some interesting new plans on how we're going to get the water back up while also generating electricity. But we have a lot of work to do on that. So for now, I can hear Tom arriving. We're going to get this concrete building. Lovely. So as you can see, we got the concrete down and covered, which is an absolute result. So like and subscribe, and see you on the next day.